The Puppy Place, Shadow, Chapter 8. Shadow could be a guide dog for a blind person, Lizzie told Charles. They were in Lizzie's room after school. I told Maria my idea and she agrees that he'd be perfect for the job. Think about it. She reminded Charles of the way Shadow took care of the bean. Plus, Lizzie said, we could be his puppy raisers. That way, we could keep Shadow for a whole year. Lizzie explained to Charles that Maria had told her about puppy raisers and how they were responsible for helping guide dog puppies grow up healthy. They have to teach the puppies about all kinds of places and people so they will be prepared to deal with anything when they are working with a blind person. That means puppy raisers take their puppies with them to school, to work, to stores, on elevators, everywhere. Charles had Shadow on his lap. He was stroking the puppy's head. Shadow looked up at him, wrinkling his little forehead as if he were trying hard to understand what Charles and Lizzie were talking about. Shadow kept hearing his name. He knew the boy and girl were talking about him. They sounded excited. That must mean something good was going to happen. Wow, said Charles. He was quiet for a moment. It sounds like fun. But then, after a year, what happens? Well, then we give him to the training center and they teach him how to be a guide dog. And then he gets matched up with a blind person. Lizzie had talked some more with Maria about how the whole system worked. So after a whole year, we'd have to give him up? Charles asked. He hugged Shadow, burying his face in the puppy's neck. I don't know about that. It would be hard, Lizzie admitted. When she thought about it, she didn't know how she could do it. If she loved Shadow this much after only a few days, how could she stand letting him go after a year? Sometimes the puppies don't work out as guide dogs, she said. If their health isn't perfect or if their personality isn't right, then the puppy raisers are allowed to adopt them permanently. But Shadow would work out, Charles said. Probably, Lizzie said. Then she told Charles about how the puppy raisers get to go to the graduation when the blind person and the dog finish training and go off to start their new lives together. That would be cool, Lizzie added. Maria says everybody cries. Charles looked thoughtful. On his lap, Shadow stretched and yawned, waking up from his nap. Then the puppy licked Charles on the chin and started to squirm around, trying to get off Charles's lap. Okay, buddy, Charles said. I'll take him out for a bathroom break, he said to Lizzie. Lizzie and Charles both knew that a puppy usually needed to go outside right after he woke up. Great, said Lizzie. I'm going to go on the internet and see if I can find out more about how Shadow can become a guide dog. She turned on her computer. Lizzie loved doing research, especially if it had anything to do with dogs. It didn't take long for Lizzie to find out that there was a guide dog foundation nearby. It was called Helping Eyes, and it trained 10 dogs a year for blind people. Lizzie got more and more excited as she looked at page after page of pictures. Most of the dogs were Labrador retrievers, both black and yellow. She read about what kind of personality a guide dog should have. There were pictures of the people at the foundation testing puppies to see if they had that personality. She saw pictures of the dogs when they were with their puppy raisers. They wore little blue vests that read, Guide Dog in Training. That way you could take the puppy into a store or the post office without getting into trouble. She saw pictures of the same puppies a year or so later. Now they were grown dogs wearing harnesses, being trained to walk a straight line down a sidewalk and to stop at the curb when crossing a street. And she saw pictures of the dogs at graduation. They looked so proud as they stood beside their new owners. Lizzie got more and more excited as she read. When Charles came back, she showed him everything she'd found. So what do we do next? Charles asked. Should we talk to Mom and Dad about it? Lizzie shook her head. Let's wait until we know if they'll take him, she said. She clicked on a button that read Email Us. Dear Helping Eyes, she wrote. My name is Lizzie Peterson. I am 10 years old and I have 2 younger brothers. My family is taking care of a very special black Labrador Retriever puppy named Shadow. He is the smartest puppy ever. He's great with people, especially kids. He even kept my littlest brother Adam from falling down the stairs. I think he would be a great guide dog for a blind person, and I think our family would make great puppy raisers. She asked them to write back right away and let her know if they wanted Shadow to be part of their program. Maybe, just maybe, Lizzie had found the perfect place for this puppy. She had a hard time getting to sleep that night. She kept picturing Shadow the puppy in a little blue vest, and Shadow the grown-up dog in a harness, helping a blind person do everything and go everywhere they wanted to go. In the morning, Lizzie jumped out of bed and turned on her computer before she even got dressed for school. Maybe the Helping Eyes people had written back. Sure enough, there was an email waiting for her regarding Shadow. The subject line said, Lizzie took a deep breath and clicked it open.